the first time that I really felt God calling my life was when I was 6. I started telling everybody I was going to be a mom and that I wanted 22 children, which they all thought was really crazy, and it is. And I also really wanted to be a teacher. And at that point, I didn't really understand what all that was going to mean. Until later in my teens, I think I was probably like 13, 14, I started to realize that teacher was more of the preaching, equipping, discipling, breaking down what God was teaching me and to share it with other people. And the mother part wasn't necessarily a physical motherhood as much as spiritual motherhood. So I really began to understand that God was giving me a heart to disciple and to mentor and to train and equip those around me. And a lot of that, with the 22 kids, I mean, I've always loved children, but I really do love the nurturing and the caring and the growing that goes into walking with somebody in their faith, and especially when they are new in their faith. So it's been an ongoing process of understanding what God's saying and the calling, but I really think I was 6 when I began to understand that God was calling me to something, and missions captures a lot of that.
A lot of people helped and supported me while I was abroad, but I think my parents played the biggest role in supporting me. They completely supported my decision to do short-term missions, and they prayed for me while I was there. They kept me updated on things that were happening at home, which is always nice, and I just knew that they were there and they supported what I was doing. Another group of people that really helped me was my missionary support team. They covered me with prayer, they helped me with financial problems, they kept my church updated on what was happening, and they were just a group of people that I could go to if I had any problems, and they just connected me to home while I was away.
One thing that I learned from the people was that their culture is much more relaxed and laid back, so I had to learn how to slow down, how to just take things easy and not. I've often tried to get a lot of things done, and things just don't happen as quickly there. So I had to just to be more relaxed with things. There's a very social culture, so people often invite you to come to their house, and you just sit there and talk and maybe eat and drink together, and it's much more relaxed. And sometimes it was a stressful thing for me because I wanted to get things done and manage my time. But one thing that I had to keep in mind, I was feeling busy one day, and I just had to remember that there's enough time in this day to do everything that God wants me to do. And I tried to keep that perspective throughout the trip. And also my teammate encouraged me that love isn't always efficient. Sometimes it doesn't feel like you're doing much, you're just taking time relating to somebody. But it's very important that we build those relationships.
We were in Nairobi one time, and I was trying to get my card to work at the ATMs, and it hadn't been working, so Karen Spade, the financial lady at EMM, called and got the company to lift the hold on our cards. Well, so I was so excited when it finally worked that I came running out of the ATM exclaiming, "I got 10,000 shillings!" And you just don't do that. That was not a smart idea. And Courtney and Mallory looked at me, and their faces were just like, I lost, like, oh no. And so then there was a homeless guy laying on the ground, and he kind of woke up and went, huh, what? Like, there's 10,000 shillings here? And so we ran out of there pretty fast and avoided a bad situation.
One piece of advice that I would give would be to trust God with all your doubts. When I joined YES, I had a lot of doubts about getting enough money, and if I had the right skills to do the tasks and stuff that YES was going to have. So it was kind of tough, but God provided for everything, provided all the money right away, and provided the skills and the patience and character that I needed for the different things that we did in YES. And so that was, one of the great things that God did for me was provide. And when someone's joining YES or a missions assignment, it can be scary. You don't really know money and stuff like that. It can be scary, but one thing to do is to trust God, because He'll take care of you in those circumstances.